of gravity or force field on all of us. It's barely noticeable at first, but within minutes, kids start dropping, just falling like someone flipped their off switch. The examiners quickly drag them away. Where to? I don't know, and I don't want to know. The pressure is small, but constant, and these kids have the physical constitution of, well, imagine a college student 2 years deep into instant noodles and zero exercise. Now imagine making that person stand at military attention under increased gravity. Yeah, they fold fast. I expected this to take hours. It takes 90 minutes. 5,000 to 1,000, just like that. The survivors look like ghosts, pale, shaking, barely conscious, held up by nothing but willpower. I'm sweating pretty hard too. It was tougher than I expected, but I'm standing solid. The head examiner smirks. Congratulations to the remaining 1,000. You have passed stage 1 and earned the right to shed the title of slave. I'm sorry, what? Slave? There are slaves at this academy? What happens to the 4,000 who just got eliminated? Before I can process that bombshell, we're herded back to our rooms. My 8-person room now has 3 people in it. 5 eliminated in 1 round, including the idiot who tried to grab my sword last night. He spent the whole night outside, showed up to the exam exhausted and disoriented, and dropped almost immediately. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. The other 2 survivors in my room take one look at how perfectly fine I am and decide they're absolutely terrified of me. No conversation attempted. Congratulations, host. Today you received Constitution 1. Constitution hits 17. At this point, my stamina, recovery speed, and physical resilience are well beyond any normal human. Tomorrow's marathon should be a walk in the park. Or a jog in the park, I guess. Morning comes, and I notice my breakfast has been upgraded again. A piece of meat, a bottle of milk, and a bowl of soup. Meanwhile, my 2 roommates are still eating the same sad rations as before. So the academy rewards strong performers with better food. Brutal meritocracy, but I'm on the right side of it for once. After 16 years of starvation, being the privileged one feels nice, actually. Now, the obstacle marathon. I debate whether to bring my sword. The word obstacle suggests there might be combat, but a sword adds weight and makes running harder. Tough call. Then I see the group assignments. I'm in group 2, which means group 1 goes first, and I get to watch. Beautiful. Free intelligence gathering. Group 1 launches, and immediately the standout is obvious. A girl with actual wings growing from her back. White feathered wings, some feathers on her body too. She looks like an angel. In the church's academy, with angel-themed aesthetics. Yeah, she's going to do very well politically here. That's basically walking into a job interview wearing the company uniform. The course is about 10 kilometers. Long, but manageable. Everyone who survived stage 1 has at least some physical talent, so most should be able to finish. The question is finishing in the top 20. I also noticed something. There's not a single mage class student in the entire competition. All warriors and physical fighters. The mages must have a separate exam track somewhere. Makes sense. Testing a wizard's endurance through a marathon is like testing a fish's ability to climb trees. Time to watch Group 1 finish and figure out exactly what obstacles means. Then Group 2 is mine. After watching Group 1, I've got the whole course mapped out. It's not really a marathon. It's more like an Ironman triathlon designed by a sadist. Stage 1, a 1,000-meter mud pit. Stage 2, a 2-kilometer straight road, basically a breather. Stage 3, a 1,000-meter track with enhanced gravity pressing down on you. Another straight road. And the finale, a track filled with small magical beasts that you either fight or outrun. 10 kilometers total, plus mud, gravity, and monsters. Fun. I watched the last obstacle carefully. Those little beasts are fast. If you can't fly like Bird Girl, there's no outrunning them. And their claws look like they'd leave nasty wounds that would wreck your performance for stage 3. Decision made. I'm bringing the sword. Bird Girl finishes first in Group 1 without breaking a sweat. Obviously, she has wings. The second tier is all body enhancement types, raw physical stats carrying them through. Third tier is elemental types who awaken warrior classes instead of mage classes, so their abilities barely help with physical tests. Everyone behind, that is basically filler. The interesting thing? It only takes 2 hours for the top 20 to emerge, and it would have been faster if they hadn't spent half the last stretch sabotaging each other. The judges didn't stop any of it. So dirty tactics are officially on the menu. Noted. My turn. Group 2 lines up at the starting line. Begin. Everyone charges forward. I hit the mud pit and immediately feel the drag. Every step requires real effort to pull my legs free. I deliberately slowed down to conserve energy. No point burning out in the first obstacle. Around me, some idiots are already fighting each other in the mud. Their strategy is apparently eliminate nearby competition early. Crude, but I can see the logic. Sure enough, 2 guys start creeping toward me. They probably see a guy who's not sprinting and think I'm an easy target. They think wrong. I don't wait for them to make the first move. I draw my sword, channel that tiny bit of magic power I've learned from the thunder summoning art, and swing. A flash of purple lightning. 2 arms hit the mud. Hawk, my arm. My arm. I turn around and keep walking. Zero hesitation. Zero remorse. Behind me, every single person who was eyeing me as a potential target suddenly finds somewhere else to look. Nobody wants to be the third guy to test the lightning sword kid. The thunder summoning art is only at beginner level, but even that gives my attacks a boost. A jolt of electricity that numbs the target, burns the wound, and dramatically increases my swing speed. Against people at this level, it's absolute overkill. Up in the observation area, the examiners are apparently chatting about me. Told you yesterday, this kid's good. Attribute point talent, and his luck with the rolls seems excellent. Not bad. Should pass the exam easily. Might even climb out of the commoner tier. Nice to know I have fans. Would be nicer if they give me better breakfast instead of just watching. I exit the mud pit and realize I'm in 3rd place. I was deliberately going slow, and I'm still 3rd. My constitution at 17 is doing serious work. I barely feel winded while everyone behind me is gasping. I shake off as much mud as I can. The gravity section is coming up, and dried mud is just extra weight. Can't get it all off, but every bit helps. 2 kilometers straight road. Easy. I close the gap with the 2 guys ahead of me, both body enhancement types. One is clearly a speed specialist. The other feels more balanced, like an all-rounder. We hit the gravity section, and something beautiful happens. The speed specialist, who was blazing through every flat section, starts struggling hard under the increased gravity. Speed means nothing when something is pressing your entire body into the ground. I pull ahead. The all-rounder keeps pace for a while, but I'm faster. My constitution advantage isn't just about stamina. My recovery speed is insane too. Every second of rest between sections, I'm bouncing back while everyone else is still catching their breath. Meanwhile, I notice the Group 1 finishers are sticking around to watch our race. Bird Girl from Group 1 is staring at me hard. I haven't used any flashy abilities, no thunder techniques, no special moves. I'm crushing this course on pure base stats alone, and she can tell. Good. Let her wonder what happens when I actually try. The gravity section gets heavier the further I go. My pace drops, but compared to everyone else, I'm apparently still blazing through it. I cleared the mud pit in 12 minutes. The fastest person in Group 1, besides Bird Girl, took 15. Group 2 is just built different, I guess. I finished the gravity section in 20 minutes. Total time so far, 39 minutes. At this rate, I might actually rival Bird Girl's overall time, and she has wings. When I exit the gravity zone, neither of the other 2 front-runners are out yet. I'm alone in 1st place. Final obstacle, the beast track. A wolf-like creature charges out at me from the side. It's way smaller than the wolves from the convoy attack, and I can tell it's been partially domesticated. It doesn't even have that intense killing intent. Probably gets fed regularly by the academy staff. Sorry, buddy. Nothing personal. I draw my sword. 1 slash, boosted with purple lightning. I split its skull clean in half. Hardest stage of the course. Took me about 4 seconds. My sword's looking rough, though. The blade is noticeably chipped after cutting through bone. This cheap thing wasn't built for actual combat. Lucky there's only 1 beast per runner. I sprint the remaining distance and cross the finish line. Total time, 51 minutes. 1st place, Group 2. I stick around to watch the others finish, and almost immediately, someone walks up to me. Let's get acquainted. I'm Saga. It's Bird Girl. Up close, she's got golden hair, blue eyes, very pale skin that's slightly dull, the kind of complexion you get from years of poor nutrition. Thin, almost gaunt. Despite the angelic wings, she's clearly from a commoner background, same as most of us. Klangasa. I extend my hand for a brief shake. She catches the surname and pauses, Nobles at the church academy are rare. But she's smart enough not to pry. I can see her doing the mental math, though, probably figuring that some noble kids have it worse than commoners. Then she studies my face for a moment longer than necessary. I notice a slight shift in her expression, something beyond just sizing up a rival. Whatever she's thinking, she keeps it professional. We'll probably be seeing each other a lot. Mind having me as a friend? Not at all. Short. Clean. No drama. I like this girl's efficiency. While we're talking, the rest of Group 2 trickles in. The speed-type guy who fell behind at the gravity section somehow clawed his way back to second place. Respect. That takes grit. But the beast stage is where things get ugly for everyone else. Most of these kids have never fought a living creature before. Even the ones who are technically stronger than the beasts freeze up the moment they see fangs and claws. They panic, they run, they get clawed, and then their survival instincts kick in and they fight back in a blind rage, which then gets redirected at nearby competitors. Group 2 takes 2 hours and 15 minutes to finish. I did it in 51 minutes. The gap is almost embarrassing. I stay to watch Groups 3 through 5. Each one has standouts worth noting. Group 3 has a guy who can transform into a stone giant. Full body transformation, massive boost to strength and defense, plus he gains the ability to control earth elements. That's easily B rank or above, possibly on Saga's level. But the real eye-catcher in Group 3 is the runner-up. His speed isn't special, but his swordsmanship is terrifying. He one-shots his beast just like I did, but his technique is leagues above mine. That level of precision takes years of dedicated training. Either he's nobility with access to a proper sword instructor, or he grew up in a martial family. Either way, that's someone I need to keep on my radar. My raw stats can overpower most people here, but a guy with superior technique and decent stats? That's an actual threat. 5 groups done. 100 finalists selected. Stage 3 still unknown. The academy is getting interesting. Group 4's winner can transform into a giant bat. His bloodline ability is probably on par with Saga's, but his look is, well, let's just say angelic church aesthetic and giant bat monster don't exactly overlap. He's going to have a PR problem here. Group 5's winner is a werewolf. Full wolf transformation. So let me take inventory of the top 5 finishers. Angel girl, stone giant, bat creature, werewolf, and me. A regular human with good stats and a cheap sword. I'm starting to feel a little underdressed for this party. All 5 of us end up gravitating toward each other after the races. Quick introductions all around. Everyone's sizing everyone else up while pretending to be friendly. Standard competitive socializing. With all 5 groups done, exactly 100 survivors remain. The examiner addresses us. Congratulations. You've left the commoner tier and entered the noble class. Stage 3 is direct combat. You'll be paired through a structured drawing system. Each group's first place fights another group's last place. Second fights another's second to last, and so on. 3 days of matches. The final top 10 will receive another status upgrade and a completely different starting position than everyone else. My expression hardens. The other group winners all have transformation abilities that basically turn them into superhuman monsters. I'm just a guy. A really strong guy, sure, but flesh and bone versus someone who becomes a literal stone giant? That's a math problem I'm not sure my stats can solve yet. Back at the dorm, I'm alone now. Both roommates got eliminated today. The entire 8-person room is mine. Silver lining, unlimited training space. I immediately start practicing the thunder summoning art. Congratulations, host. Today you received Sword Talent 1. Wait, Sword Talent? That's a rare attribute. My sword talent jumps to 10. I grab my sword and run through some forms, and immediately I can feel the difference. New insights are flooding in. Angles I never considered, timing adjustments, more efficient movements. One single talent point, and my swordsmanship just leveled up noticeably. Next morning, day 1 of combat rounds. 80 people get eliminated today. All 100 of us arrive at the arena. 50 examiners are waiting. Everyone fights simultaneously. Efficient and terrifying. I get matched against Group 1's 20th place, last qualifier from his group. If I remember correctly, his talent is Earth Element Manipulation. Decent ability, honestly C-rank worthy, but these kids are all still beginners with limited control. The guy sees me and visibly relaxes. Of course, Out of all 5 group winners, I'm the one without a flashy transformation. I look the most beatable. Clan, I know you're strong, but that was just against beasts. You might not beat me. I don't respond. After today, I'll never see this guy again. Why waste words? My silence makes him angry. Good. Angry fighters make mistakes. No killing. Everything else is permitted. Begin. We both draw swords. He immediately activates his earth element. A thin yellowish film wraps around his body, boosting his defense and strength slightly, but slowing his movement. Textbook Earth-type behavior. More armor, less speed. I close the distance before he can react and drive my sword into his abdomen. Not deep enough to kill, but deep enough to end this fight instantly. Opponent incapacitated. Clan wins. He's lying on the ground, and I walk over. He looks up at me hopefully, probably thinking I'm going to help him stand. I take his sword. You won't be needing this anymore. It's mine now. I walk away. Behind me, he's practically choking on his own rage, trying to get the examiner to do something about the robbery. The examiner doesn't even glance back. Law of the jungle, buddy. Welcome to the Royal Academy. I check on the other group winners. All finished just as quickly. First place versus last place is barely a contest. Round 2 starts soon. The bracket system is blatantly designed to favor the strong. Top fighters always face the weakest remaining opponents. It's not fair, and nobody pretends it is. The Academy's philosophy is crystal clear: the strong eat, the weak get eaten. After this round, we go from 50 to 25. Then the bottom 10 fight for 5 spots. Only the top 25 matter. My round 2 opponent, Group 1's 10th place. A real step up in difficulty. Let's see what he's got. Round 2. My opponent takes one look at me and goes stiff. He knows he can't win, but he's come this far, so he's going to try anyway. I respect that. His talent is full-body physical enhancement, and he's using a spear, longer reach than my sword. He sets up in a defensive stance, spear pointed straight at me. Smart. If he'd kept that up, I would have actually had to work for this. But he doesn't. He attacks. The second he lunges, he's wide open. I sidestep, grab his spear shaft with one hand, and hold it still. He pulls. He yanks. He throws his entire body weight into getting that spear back. It doesn't move. My hand might as well be welded to it. His face goes through about 5 stages of confusion in 2 seconds. The man cannot comprehend how a guy with attribute points, as his talent, has this kind of grip strength. While he's still processing that, my sword tip is already pressed against his throat. A tiny red line appears on his neck. He swallows very carefully. I surrender. Good choice. I sheath my sword and walk out. I'm not staying to watch the remaining fights. The skill gap is too wide, and I'd rather spend the time training. I can feel it in my body. The thunder summoning art is right at the edge of a breakthrough. Something is building up, like pressure before a storm. On my way out, I catch a glimpse of Saga's fight. She wants to finish fast so she can follow me, apparently. She holds up her palm, generates a golden ball of light, and hurls it at her opponent. Boom. The guy gets blasted across the arena. Not dead, but absolutely shredded. Fight over in 1 move. My expression goes serious real fast. That attack would hurt me. Badly. The good news is that Saga is gasping for air afterward. She can clearly only use it once before she's drained. So if I ever have to fight her, I just need to survive the first hit. She catches up to me outside. Clan, why'd you leave so early? Nothing worth watching. Going to train. Oh. Want to train together? No. I don't like having people around when I practice. Oh. Okay then. She looks a little deflated, but doesn't push it. Good. Back in my room. My room now. Since all 7 roommates have been eliminated, I immediately start practicing the thunder summoning art. The breathing patterns, the special movements, the channeling. I've been doing this for weeks now, but today feels different. The energy is responding faster, building higher. An hour in, I'm drenched in sweat. My body is burning through stamina just from the cultivation alone. I can normally only manage 2 full cycles per day before it starts damaging my body. Then it happens. My eyes snap open. Tiny purple arcs of electricity crackle across my entire body. The energy surges outward. I reflexively slash my sword forward, and the bed in front of me gets cut clean in half. Level 2. The thunder summoning art just broke through. I stare at the destroyed bed. I practiced the family's wind sword technique for years with 0 progress. I've been learning the thunder summoning art for less than a month and just hit a breakthrough. Choosing the right technique for your elemental affinity isn't just important, it's everything. But the best part? The breakthrough sends lightning coursing through my entire body, and my base stats get a permanent boost from the tempering. Strength, 18. Agility, 15. Constitution, 19. Spirit, 19. 3 stats approaching 20. If you exclude the transformation freaks, I'm probably the strongest person here in raw numbers. And I unlock a new ability. I can now coat my body in lightning, what I'm calling Thunder Body mode. It boosts my strength and agility by about 20%. The catch? It absolutely devours my stamina and magic power. I can only maintain it for a short burst, so if I activate it, I need to end the fight fast or I'll collapse from exhaustion. High risk, high reward. My kind of move. Then comes the downside of the breakthrough. Hunger. Absolute, devastating, hollow hunger. Like my body just burned through a week's worth of calories in an hour. I tear through my food stash in seconds. Still starving. The food is being digested almost instantly. I frantically search the room, checking under beds, in corners, anywhere my former roommates might have left something. I find 3 black bread rolls. Thank you, eliminated strangers. Your loss is my dinner. I choke down all 3 with water. They taste like sawdust, as always, but finally the hunger eases to something manageable. The church only serves 2 meals a day, breakfast and dinner, nothing in between. After a cultivation breakthrough that just restructured my entire body at a cellular level, 2 meals is not going to cut it. I'm going to need to figure out a food situation, or my own growing strength is going to eat me from the inside out. I barely survive the hunger until dinner, but when the food arrives, oh my, a huge slab of meat, 5 white bread rolls, a bottle of milk, a bowl of soup, and an apple for dessert. I just stand there staring at it like a caveman seeing fire for the first time. The delivery guy laughs. Eat up. You performed excellently today. Congratulations, you've reached the noble tier. The Royal Academy will be your paradise from now on. Noble tier? Huh? I'm starting to piece together how this place works. Perform well, eat well. Perform badly, disappear to wherever the eliminated kids go. Simple, brutal, effective. He leaves and I attack that food like a starving wolf. Every last crumb. For the first time since the breakthrough, I actually feel full. Bliss. Congratulations, host. Today you received Strength 1, Strength hits 19. Business as usual. Day 2. 20 fighters remain. Today we each fight 2 rounds to determine the top 10 and the bottom 10 rankings. Then tomorrow, the final day, is a full round robin. Every single person fights every other person. Most exhausting, most brutal format possible. I check my bracket and my stomach drops slightly. My opponent is Gato, the swordsman from Group 3 who one-shot his beast. The one whose technique I specifically flagged as actually dangerous. My face goes serious. This is the first fight where I can't just bulldoze through with raw power. My stats are higher, yes, but his skill might be enough to close that gap. This is the classic RPG showdown. Raw numbers versus superior mechanics. Time to show him what happens when the numbers are high enough. Gato sees me across the arena, and his expression tightens too. Before we start, he speaks up. Clan, my name is Gato. I hope you remember it. I know you're strong, so I'm going all out. Don't underestimate me. I nod. Genuinely. This guy has earned my respect. I have a feeling we'll cross paths again after this. We draw swords simultaneously. Gato strikes first, and immediately I see why he's dangerous. His attack angles are tricky. Every thrust comes from somewhere I don't expect. If even one of those lands clean, it'll cause real damage and shift momentum his way. I block. Our blades crash together, and I can feel the vibration run through his arms. He almost loses grip on his sword from the impact alone. My raw strength is simply on a different level. We separate, both of us recalculating. My turn. I go on offense. My swordsmanship is rougher than his, less elegant, less precise. But my sword is fast, and every single swing hits like a truck. Gato can see the openings in my technique, but his body physically cannot keep up with my attack speed to exploit them. Clang, 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 clang. The arena rings with the sound of iron on iron. To the spectators, it looks like I'm completely dominating. And I am, on the surface. But we both know the truth. If I let up for even 1 second, Gato's technical superiority kicks in, and he could end me with a single precise strike. Good thing I don't plan on letting up. Gato's hands are going numb from absorbing hit after hit. He's losing feeling in his fingers. 3 minutes of non-stop heavy impacts, and finally, his sword clatters to the ground. I point my blade at him. You lost. His eyes flash with defiance. He reaches for the fallen sword. I stab him in the right arm. Not deep, just enough to make a point. The pain snaps him back to reality. I surrender. Clan wins. Medical staff rush in to treat Gato. Apparently his talent is B rank, Weapon Master. He can quickly master any weapon type and has an easier time comprehending weapon spirits. B rank. That explains the terrifying skill level. The church will definitely invest in him heavily, even after this loss. Me? The examiners are still on the fence. My attribute point talent is too unstable in their eyes. Unless I lock down a top 5 finish, I probably won't get the VIP treatment. Fair enough. I'll just have to make it undeniable. Saga finishes her fight and immediately bounces over. Clan, you're amazing. You win so fast every time. You're strong too. If we fought, I'd probably lose. I mean it, partially. Her flight ability plus that golden light bomb is a nightmare combination. But privately, I'm already strategizing. Against flyers, my plan is simple. Play defense, wait for them to commit to an attack, and counter with everything I've got in one shot. They have to come down eventually. Saga beams at the compliment. Meanwhile, inside my head, I'm running battle simulations against her. Sorry, Saga. Friends on the outside, tactician on the inside. That's just how I survive. While Saga and I trade compliments, I watch the remaining afternoon matches carefully. These top 20 fighters are all close in power now, so they're actually showing their real abilities. My afternoon opponent is a girl. Her fighting style is eerily similar to Gato's. She keeps finding my weak spots with surgical precision. Must be some kind of insight-based talent. Normally, that'd be dangerous. Unfortunately for her, her body can't cash the checks her eyes are writing. I don't bother with fancy techniques. Just horizontal slash, vertical slash, repeat. Pure force. Every hit makes her weapon rattle in her hands like it's trying to escape. On the 13th swing, her weapon goes flying, and I win. She drops to the ground and looks up at me with this burning determination. Clan, my name is Cecilia. Remember it. Next time, I will beat you. I pause for a second. Then I walk away. Sorry, Cecilia. That day isn't coming. My growth rate is absurd. The gap between us will only get wider. Even a B-rank talent like Insight can't overcome pure stat difference when the numbers get high enough. You can see every opening in the world. Doesn't matter if your body can't move fast enough to exploit them. The highlight match of the afternoon is Batgirl versus the Werewolf. The Werewolf is an absolute beast. Speed, power, aggression, everything cranked up. He should win this easily. But Batgirl has a disgusting ace, Blood Drain. She bites you, sucks your blood, heals herself and restores her stamina, while your body goes limp and loses the will to fight. The Werewolf gets caught once, and it's basically over. Without that broken ability, she'd have lost for sure. Her actual fighting technique is garbage. But when your gimmick is, I bite you and you stop functioning, technique is optional. Mental note, do not let Batgirl bite me. Ever. Under any circumstances. Congratulations, host. Today you received Agility 1, good. Lighter, faster. I can feel it immediately. Final day. 20 people, for tiers, 5 per tier. My group, the top tier, is me, Saga, Stone Giant, Batgirl, and a boy with some kind of B-rank combat enhancement talent. 5 fighters, round-robin format. Everyone fights everyone. Looking at this lineup, I'm the only C-rank talent here. Everyone else is B-rank or above, which, as I'm about to find out, actually means A-rank. Before the matches start, I notice 3 teenagers watching from the sidelines. About my age, but completely different vibe. Expensive clothes, perfect posture, and expressions that scream, "You're all beneath me." The examiners practically trip over themselves running to greet them. Saint Maiden, are you here to observe the final examination? The girl at the center, the Saint Maiden, nods with obvious boredom. Anyone interesting this year? Yes, Saint Maiden. One girl awakened the winged human bloodline. A-rank talent. Wait. A-rank. Saga is A-rank. I thought she was B-rank at best. Additionally, there's an A-rank vampire bloodline and an A-rank werewolf bloodline. Those are all the A-rank talents in this examination. 3 A-rank talents in 1 year. Apparently, that's extremely rare. Normally, they get 1 or 2 per year. S-rank shows up maybe once a decade. And I'm in the top bracket with 3 of these A-rank monsters. With my little C-rank attribute points talent. Cool. This is fine. Everything is fine. The one opponent I least want to face is the B-rank enhancement boy. From what I've observed, he can massively boost his combat power in short bursts, similar to my Thunder Body. The best scenario is fighting him later when he's already spent his energy on someone else. I draw my lot, and first round bye. I'm sitting out round 1. The other 4 fight each other while I rest. I have never been this happy about doing nothing. While everyone else burns stamina and takes damage, I get to sit here fresh and watch. Maximum information, 0 cost. The matchups, Saga vs Batgirl. Stone Giant vs B-rank enhancement boy. Time to take notes. This bracket is perfect for me. None of these 5 have any real type advantage over each other. They're all close in raw power. So when they fight, they're going to beat the absolute stuffing out of each other. And I get to sit here with my feet up. Pure profit. Saga looks at her opponent, Batgirl, and her face goes sour. Of all the people she could have drawn, the vampire is her least favorite matchup. Batgirl walks onto the stage. She's something. Wild purple hair covering most of her face, deathly pale skin, hunched posture, rail-thin body, and this faint black aura that makes her look like she crawled out of a horror movie. The complete visual opposite of Golden Angel Girl Saga. Begin. White wings and black bat wings unfurl simultaneously. Both girls take to the sky. For one beautiful moment, it looks like an epic clash between an angel and a demon, the kind of thing artists paint on cathedral ceilings. Then they start fighting. It's basically a slap fight with wings. Both of them have S-tier aesthetics and D-tier combat technique. The mythical atmosphere shatters instantly. About 99% of the audience loses interest within 30 seconds. The other fight, though, Stone Giant vs B-rank enhancement boy, is actually entertaining. No technique from either of them, but the raw numbers are insane. Stone Guy is a walking fortress. Massive defense, huge health pool, ridiculous strength. Enhancement Boy has the best burst damage in the entire competition. Fist after fist, pure meat-on-meat combat. Enhancement Boy dominates early with his explosive power, but Stone Guy keeps tanking everything. Enhancement Boy needs to win before his energy runs out. If this drags on, he's done. Meanwhile, I notice Gato also got to buy this round. We make eye contact. He seems to flash back to me beating him senseless yesterday, because he immediately turns away with an annoyed look. I smile. No hard feelings, buddy. Saga vs Batgirl goes on for an hour. At one point, Batgirl tries to bite Saga and drink her blood, her signature move. She gets one taste and immediately spits it out, dry heaving like she just drank poison. Fascinating. Saga's holy attribute blood is basically toxic to vampires. That's a hard counter if I've ever seen one. Unfortunately, I'm lightning attribute, not holy, so that weakness doesn't help me at all. Saga wins eventually, but it's close, and mainly because it's daytime. Batgirl is weakened by sunlight. Plus, she was still drained from fighting the werewolf yesterday. Stone Giant loses to Enhancement Boy, but Enhancement Boy is completely spent afterward. Stamina and magic power both near 0. He's going to be a walking punching bag for the rest of the tournament. Half-hour break. Then round 2. Everyone knows I'm the freshest fighter here since I sat out round 1. Nobody wants to face me right now. The unlucky lottery winner, Enhancement Boy. He looks at me and lets out a bitter laugh. Didn't think the unlucky one would be me. I consider his situation for a moment. Then nod honestly. Yeah, you really are unlucky. His face twitches. Don't get cocky. If I was at full power, you wouldn't stand a chance against me. That's debatable. Wrong thing to say. His blood pressure visibly spikes. He was actually planning to forfeit, save his remaining energy for later rounds, and go all out in his final match. Smart strategy, but I just made it personal. Now he wants to hurt me more than he wants to win the tournament. He'd rather burn his last drops of energy, making my life miserable, than play it smart. Young people. So easy to manipulate. Begin. He instantly activates full enhancement mode and blitzes me. His speed is genuinely terrifying. Even drained, this guy's burst power is top tier. His iron rod crashes into my sword and immediately chips a chunk out of the blade. I wince. No matter who wins this fight, my sword is toast. He goes absolutely berserk. No strategy, no pacing, just pure rage-fueled aggression. Hit after hit after hit. From the outside, it probably looks like I'm on the defensive, barely holding on. And he starts thinking to himself, maybe I can win this. His talent isn't even that great. Of course I can beat him. Oh buddy, you sweet, angry, exhausted fool. You just activated every drop of energy you had left because I called you unlucky. And you think you're winning this exchange? I'm letting you burn. Every swing you throw is energy you'll never get back. And when that tank hits empty, I'll be right here. Fresh. Rested. Waiting. Right as enhancement boy. His name is Pharaoh, apparently. Thinks he's got me on the ropes. His iron rod shatters my sword clean in half. But breaking my weapon means he overextended for just a split second. That's all I need. I activate Thunder Body. Purple arcs crackle across my skin. My stats jump by 20%. And I plant my foot square in his chest with everything I've got. He flies backward like he got hit by a speeding carriage. Eyes go dark. He crashes to the ground. And before he can even process what just happened, my fist is already filling his entire field of vision. Lights out. I pull back, ready to keep going, but... oh, he's already unconscious. One kick and one punch. All that rage, all that energy he burned trying to intimidate me. And this is how it ends? Honestly, a little disappointing. He was less durable than I expected. I swapped to my backup sword, the slightly chipped one from earlier. It's ugly, but functional. Better than nothing. Pharaoh has lost combat ability. Clan wins. 2 wins, 0 losses. Feeling good. Now, while I'm resting, I start paying very close attention to the bracket. And I notice something that makes my blood run cold. Not for me, but for Batgirl. Winnie, that's her name. Round 1, matched against Saga. Holy attribute blood literally poisons vampires. Hard counter. Round 2, matched against Stone Giant. His entire body is rock. Her fangs can't penetrate stone to suck blood. Hard counter. Yesterday, matched against the werewolf. Another brutal fight. I look at the bracket pattern. Then I look at the head examiner, who's wearing this creepy little smile. They're targeting her. Deliberately. It makes sense. The church loves Saga. She looks like an angel. Perfect mascot material. Batgirl? Vampire aesthetic? That's the opposite of what the church wants representing them. So they rigged the brackets to grind Winnie down fight after fight. Always against her worst matchups. Never giving her a break. Round 3 matchups confirm it. Saga gets Pharaoh, who immediately forfeits to rest. Free win. I get Winnie. And after me, she'll face the recovered Pharaoh with 0 rest. The whole bracket is designed to boost Saga and bury Winnie. My first round bye wasn't luck. It was arranged because giving me rest also benefits Saga's path. I'm just a side beneficiary. This place is rotten from the top down. But nobody else seems to notice. These kids all come from backgrounds where survival is the only priority. Strategic bracket manipulation isn't even on their radar. Winnie shuffles onto the stage. She's hunched over even worse than usual, completely drained from 2 consecutive fights against her natural counters. She looks like a stiff breeze could finish her off. So unlucky, she mumbles, head hanging. I have to fight you now. My luck is really awful this time. Her voice starts trembling. She sounds like she's about to cry. Right here, on the arena stage. Before our fight. What? What am I supposed to do with this? Do I comfort my opponent? Is there a protocol for this? That's just how the bracket works. Nothing we can do about it. I keep my suspicions about the rigged matches to myself. Telling her won't help. It'll only create problems for both of us. And honestly, it's just a theory. A very convincing theory backed by extremely suspicious evidence, but still technically a theory. She nods softly. Okay, well, be careful. I'm going to give it my all. Despite looking like a gothic horror character, Winnie is genuinely polite and sweet. I actually like her, which makes what I'm about to do feel a little bad. Begin. Before she moves, I speak up. Winnie, if you want your later matches to go better, you should surrender this one and save your energy. It sounds harsh, but it's the best advice I can give her. Based on the rigged pattern, she's the only person who won't get a bye round. If she rests now, she might beat Pharaoh next round. If she fights me exhausted and loses anyway, she'll face Pharaoh with nothing left and lose that too. She looks confused. I can see her trying to figure out why I'd suggest this. She can sense I'm being genuine, but she's not strategically minded enough to understand the bracket manipulation. And because she can't see the bigger picture, she's going to fight me anyway. I respect the determination. I really do. But sometimes stubbornness and bravery look exactly the same. When he's not surrendering. All right then, let's do this. She transforms, full vampire bat mode, and shoots straight up into the sky. Smart play normally, but maintaining that form burns magic power she doesn't have. In peak condition, she could stay airborne all day. Right now, she's running on fumes. Her only win condition is to bite me and drain blood. If she can pull that off, she refuels and I weaken. If she can't, it's over. She opens with her big move, a black crescent blade of dark energy that rockets down at me. The thing is fast. No time to dodge. I block with my sword, and it carves another chunk out of the blade. At this rate, I'm going to be fighting with a butter knife by tomorrow. But that's all it does. The attack barely scratches me. Meanwhile, Winnie is up there gasping for air after one shot. She blew her ultimate on my sword. I don't chase. I just stand there and wait. She'll have to come to me eventually. Up in the VIP area, the Saint Maiden notices me. What's that one's talent? That's Clan Gassa. C-rank talent, attribute point allocation. I can practically feel her interest evaporate from across the arena. C-rank. In her mind, I'm already categorized as noble kid with a head start who'll get overtaken eventually. Dismissed. Just like that. Whatever. I've been underestimated my whole life. One more person on the list changes nothing. Back on the stage, Winnie finally commits. She dives straight at me like a black hawk. Full speed, claws extended. It's actually a terrifying sight. For a normal person. The moment she gets within range, I reach out and grab her by the throat. My arms are longer than hers. So when my hand closes around her neck, her claws are still inches from touching me. She weighs maybe 30 kilograms. I lift her with one hand like she's a stuffed animal. Then I slam her into the ground. Hard. Like swinging a hammer. Winnie's eyes go wide. Her back hits the stone, and whatever fight was left in her just leaves. She's shaking. Not from pain, from pure fear. She's forgotten how to resist. Referee. She's done. The judge walks over, takes one look at the trembling girl who's clearly given up, and calls it. Winnie has lost combat ability. Clan wins. 3 wins, 0 losses. I start walking off the stage, but I glance back at Winnie. She's still lying on the ground, shaking, staring at nothing. Full-blown shutdown. I hesitate. Then I walk back and pull her up by the hand. She flinches. Don't. I surrender. The fight's over. We're going to rest now. She blinks. Processes. Realizes it's actually finished. Then her face crumbles into this look of total defeat. 3 fights, 3 losses. A-rank talent, 0 wins. She follows me down from the stage like a kicked puppy. Clan. Am I useless? I pause. This girl just got systematically destroyed by a rigged bracket, and now she thinks it's her fault. She's about to fight Pharaoh next in this condition, which she'll almost certainly lose too. For fights, all against bad matchups, no rest rounds. And she thinks she's the problem. No, you just had bad luck? Bad luck? She looks up at me, and for the first time I actually see her face clearly. Without the curtain of purple hair in the way, she's actually really pretty. Pale, sure, but delicate features, big eyes, and right now those eyes are brimming with tears, which gives her this fragile look that's honestly kind of. Before my brain finishes that thought, my hand is already on her head, ruffling her hair. Yeah, bad luck. If your first opponent hadn't been Saga, if you hadn't fought the werewolf yesterday, the results would be completely different. You're not weak, you're just undertrained. Give it time and you'll be fine. Winnie's expression shifts. The despair lifts a little. Someone finally told her it's not her fault, and she needed to hear it. For the record, I still think the brackets were rigged against her. I still didn't tell her that. Some truths would only make things worse. But at least I can make sure she doesn't walk away from today thinking she's worthless. Because she's not. She's an A-rank talent with a broken ability who got sabotaged by the system. Once she gets proper training and rest, she's going to be terrifying. Just, hopefully not aimed at me. Winnie nuzzles into my hand like a cat. I freeze for a second, then pull my hand back. All right, go rest. You've got another fight coming. She nods, looking noticeably less miserable than 30 seconds ago. Amazing what one head pat can accomplish. Then Saga marches over with an expression that's trying very hard to look casual and failing completely. Great fight, clan. You're so amazing. I just got lucky with the bracket. No, You definitely win everything even without the buy. Winnie nods in agreement. Okay, I'm not going to argue with two people who both decided I'm invincible. Clan, our fight is next. I'll go all out, so watch yourself, Saga warns me with a competitive smile. Then, after a pause, she adds in a joking tone, but if you want a perfect record, I could maybe let you win. She says it like it's a joke. It's not a joke. She would absolutely do it. This girl awakened an A-rank talent, and she's still operating on commoner instincts, trying to buy friendship by being a pushover. It's honestly kind of sad. No, fight me for real. If you throw the match, the examiners will notice and we'll both be in trouble. Oh, okay. Also, Saga says, trying to sound casual, when did you and Winnie get so close? I saw you patting her head. I don't answer. Why does she care? Uncomfortable silence. Saga pivots to Winnie. Haha, Winnie, you two look pretty intimate. You don't like Clan, do you? Winnie answers without hesitation. I think Clan is very gentle. Being near him feels safe. Saga's face goes through about 7 emotions in 2 seconds, none of them happy. She clearly regrets asking. I glance at Winnie. These girls are both incredibly straightforward. No games, no manipulation. One head pat and a few kind words, and they're ready to pledge loyalty. It's the kind of simplicity that comes from growing up with nothing. No one's ever been nice to them. So the first person who gets their whole heart. It's kind of heartbreaking, honestly. Half-hour break ends. Round 4 matchups, exactly as I predicted. Winnie, who has not gotten a single rest round, faces Pharaoh. She's exhausted. She's injured from me slamming her into the ground, and Pharaoh has been resting since round 2. She's going to lose. The rigged bracket strikes again. Pharaoh sees his opponent and smirks. Free win. My opponent? Saga. Fully rested, fully powered, most complete stamina reserves of anyone here. Of course. We step onto the stage. Saga's playful demeanor vanishes instantly. She's serious now. Good. I need her serious, because this is going to be my hardest fight yet. Begin. Saga shoots into the sky immediately. But unlike Winnie's desperate, clumsy flying, Saga moves with complete composure. She's conserved her energy perfectly, and she knows her aerial advantage is nearly unbeatable. She doesn't waste magic on a big, flashy ranged attack either. She's smarter than that. Instead, she targets my weapon. My sword is already a disaster. Chipped, cracked, barely holding together from 4 previous fights. Saga grips her spear, a quality spear, mind you. The church gave her a proper refined weapon as a reward for her A-rank talent. Meanwhile, I'm holding together scrap metal with prayers. She dives. One streak of white light. The spear hits my sword, and it shatters. Not chips. Not cracks. Explodes into several pieces. I'm standing in the arena holding a sword handle with no blade. Great. Fantastic. Every fight in this tournament has cost me a weapon. I started with 2 swords and I now have 0. Saga pulls up, circles overhead for a few seconds to catch her breath, then lines up another dive. She's coming again. I have no weapon. She has a reinforced spear and full stamina and the entire sky as her advantage. Think, Clan. Think fast. I activate Thunder Body. Purple electricity wraps around me, and the moment Saga commits to her dive, I sidestep. She's going too fast to adjust. Her momentum carries her straight into the ground. I spin around and slam my palm into her back before she can recover. Then my hand is around her neck. Again. Third person today, I've grabbed by the throat. I'm starting to develop a signature move. Saga feels my grip, solid as iron, and immediately understands. If I squeeze, her neck snaps. Simple math. I surrender. The arena goes dead silent. Nobody expected this. The examiners planned the entire bracket to hand Saga the championship on a silver platter, and she just got beaten in approximately 4 seconds by a kid with no weapon and a C-rank talent. You can practically feel the frustration radiating from the judges. They rigged everything. Gave Saga easy matchups, rest rounds, drained all her rivals beforehand, and she still lost because she got cocky on a dive and I punished it. They're not mad at me. They're mad at her for wasting their carefully constructed plan. Up in the VIP section, though, the Saint Maiden leans forward. Interesting. The head examiner catches that reaction and mentally recalculates my value. One word from the Saint Maiden, and suddenly, I'm not worthless anymore. Politics. What she's apparently noticed, is that I don't fight like these other kids. They're having sparring matches. I'm trying to kill people as efficiently as possible. Every move calculated, zero hesitation, maximum damage. In a world where nobody our age has real combat experience, that mindset is basically a cheat code. She calls me a natural-born killer. I'd argue with that, but honestly, after 16 years of survival in that household and a wolf attack on the road, yeah, maybe she's right. 4 wins, 0 losses. 1 fight left, stone giant. Problem: I have no weapons. My last sword got obliterated by Saga's spear. I look at the scattered metal fragments on the ground and briefly consider my options. I glance at Winnie. She has those claw weapons, but they're custom-fitted to her tiny hands. My fingers wouldn't even fit. Plus, asking would be awkward. Forget it. Bare fists it is. Let's see if a month of daily stat points can punch through rock. Winnie's final match against Pharaoh goes exactly as the rigged bracket intended. She loses. For fights, for losses. She's sitting in the spectator area, looking like someone canceled her birthday. The werewolf from Group 5, who ranked 6th, stares at her results in disbelief. The girl who beat him went 0-4. It's honestly humiliating for both of them. Final match. Me versus Stone Giant. He's in rough shape. Torn clothes, unhealed wounds, exhausted eyes. Even after his rest round, he's clearly running on fumes. His stone armor, when he activates it, is visibly thinner and smaller than before. I see that and immediately know, this is mine. I don't activate Thunder Body. Don't need it. The fight turns into something almost beautiful. Instead of my usual grab throat and fight approach, I play it like a matador. High mobility, constant evasion, picking him apart piece by piece. He knows he needs to end this quickly before his magic runs out, but the arena is too big and I'm too fast. He can't catch me. He chases. I dodge. He swings. I weave. Every missed attack drains his magic further. His stone armor gets thinner with each passing minute. Cracks start appearing. All he can do is watch his power slowly bleed away, unable to land a single hit on the guy casually jogging circles around him. The moment his stone armor cracks and falls away, I activate Thunder Body. Purple lightning surges through me and I close the distance in a blink, practically teleporting to his face. 3 lightning-charged punches. His eyes roll back. He's out. 5 fights. 5 wins. 0 losses. No weapon for the last 2 fights. The final rankings. 1st place, me. 2nd, Saga. 3rd, Pharaoh. 4th, Stone Giant. 5th, Winnie. The head examiner looks like he swallowed a lemon. This was not how his carefully rigged bracket was supposed to play out. But results are results, and even he can't argue with a clean sweep. He lines us up and starts handing out rewards. Clan. For achieving 1st place, you are granted the title of Viscount. You receive all privileges of that rank, 500 Academy credits, 1 magic grade weapon, 10 mid-level magic stones, and a monthly allowance of 50 basic magic stones. My brain immediately locks onto magic grade weapon. The weapon tiers go common, refined, magic, hero, and presumably higher grades I don't know about yet. I've been fighting with common grade trash this entire time. An actual magic grade weapon is a massive upgrade. The magic stones are apparently like spirit stones in cultivation novels, fuel for training. Monthly income of 50? I can work with that. 2nd and 3rd place get Baron titles with slightly worse rewards. 4th and 5th also get Baron, but even lower tier. Winnie gets 5th despite going 0-4, which is technically last in our bracket, but she's still top 5 in the entire Academy entrance class. Not bad for someone who got systematically destroyed by a rigged schedule. Top 10 students will live in the main hall with the best resources. Everyone ranked lower gets assigned to branch halls. The lower your rank, the worse your hall. I look down at the Viscount badge in my hand. Weirdly, they use noble titles instead of church titles like bishop or priest. I'd have expected monks and deacons, not viscounts and barons. Something to figure out later. Now, regarding your weapons, what type would you like?